Good morning, everybody. Looks like we're going to have a rainy weekend around here. Now let's get started getting our slots cut. Don't know how far I'm going to get today, but we'll see. Oversize just a little. Test fit. Just like that. Okay. There's two. This is going to take a while. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this blade up before I go any further, because the sanding, getting it cleaned up some, took this edge down to very, very sharp already. So we still got to go on the buffer before we do it, but that's what I'm going to do. Let's protect this so I don't cut my hand open today. Alright, we got all our leather cut. Now, remember in part one, I mentioned that we're going to have to shorten this just a tad. Remember, because we ground this off flat with the top. We're going to have enough material sticking out to pin it back over. I kept saying brad it back over, same thing. So we're going to take one piece of leather, line it up there, put us a mark, make our little square here lines, straighten up our line a little bit. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll take that over to, oh, that ain't right, that's too much. Right there. And we'll take this over to the big grinder with the stone wheel and just nibble out just a little part of that. We'll do it the old-fashioned way like we did to start with. Take this with us and test it just to make sure. Just a little bit's all we need. Alright, let me go over and do that, and let's see, we'll get back to something else. We got to get these parts ready to go back on before we put any leather on there. I'm discombobulated this morning, but we're getting it done. There we go. Now it's actually going to be up here, because we've got a washer and a piece of leather to go in there. Then we'll compress it down, and there'll be just enough left to lean over. Now, got my glass cutting board, smooth side. We're going to clean this up before we put the blue one on there. These also. Just like that. We'll just keep going until we get everything even, shiny, get the ugly marks off of there. We'll do the sides and the ends. And we're gonna oil blue these in hot oil. Everything except this. May even do that. And the blade will be liquid gun blue. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Alright, let's get our 2 spacers and our finger guard here. Blued, gun blued, or not gun blued, hot oil blued. Alright, this is a jar. This is air tool oil. I had a big bottle of it one time, and the bottle had a crack in it, so I just poured some of it in here. So any kind of oil will work for this. Now I got it clean as I can. The rust pitting is really bad on parts of it, but it'll look good anyway when you get done. We'll get it hot. You don't need to see it. Not cherry red hot, just hot. See, it turns sort of a bluish color. Starting to get a little bit of dull red color in the luck. Drop it in there. Them pliers are hot. Same thing here. And that will turn it black, the black blue color we want. And will protect it from rust. And the end cap, I'm going to do something different with that. And we'll see that later on. I don't have much more time out here today. I have the Chunky Monkey and the other 2, Sassy and Smiley, coming to spend the afternoon and the night with us. And they'll be here a little while. I have to go help Mama keep them corralled. Especially if it's going to rain most of the day, it'd be hard to get outside with them. Good on that one. Maybe this ain't too boring for y'all, but I've used this method before. I don't know if I've ever shown it before. And you'll see a lot of guys that do restorations do this. Very cost effective, that's one thing. There we go. Now we'll just let that sit. Leave the lid off of it. Don't touch these. So this piece here, we're going to do something different. I'm going to do something that's going to terrify some of y'all, but even me. We're going to do it. Now, next step, I'll take the blade down to the buffer, and I'm going to buff. Get it as smooth as I can get it. Now these pit marks, rust pit, that's not going to come out. It's too deep. and that would compromise the blade strength if I start monkeying with that. So there we go. Let's head to the buffer and I'll show you what it looks like. Then we'll get this part gun blued, wrapped back up, and it'll probably be the next day or two before I start stacking the leather on there, because I got to build a jig, but to compress it. So it was the last one I did. I lost the jig. I don't look, can't find it. So anyway, won't take long. All right, off the buffer, just as smooth as I can get it. I've cleaned it really well with degreaser. It's ready for gun blue. So let's go ahead and do that next. Hang with me. Let's see, I think y'all can see me right there. I'm going to get 3 coats on here. Dip it down in there. Now the smoother it is, the longer it takes to soak in. Okay, that looks good. As per the directions, you let it sit for 1.5 minutes. Rinse it in cold water, steel wool, and do it again and again and again until you get like you want it. We'll see it one more time before we oil it and wrap it up. Alright, 3 coats of gun blue, dried very well. I'm going to coat it down with some WD. In the very end, we'll do a final polish. Let's see if we can get it back in our cupboard here. Nope, we'll just have to make another one. Hang on. Like that, just wrap it up in a paper towel. That's the easiest way to do that, I think. Pardon me, that's the way I do it. Pardon me. Alright, dang it. Alright, next step is to start stacking the leather. It is not time to do it today, so we'll get back to it maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Alright, good afternoon, everybody. I've got just a couple of hours that I can work today. Never did rain that much yesterday, but it thunderstormed and been pouring all morning, and it's really hard to video out here when it's raining because of the noise on the tin roof. So, and this is going to have to be done very quickly, so I might turn the camera off at any moment. Got my little holder jig here clamped in the vise. We're going to start putting the leather on there, mixing up the epoxy now, And I've only got about 5 minutes of work time with this epoxy. So I have to go really quick. One more thing, hang on. Knew I'd forget something. Try to keep all this off of my hands if I can. Keep forgetting I have gloves. There we go. Now what we're going to do is get our epoxy mix so it'll be ready. I've already cleaned all this off with acetone. Get our epoxy mixed up good. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to put a little bit on here. Okay, we put a little bit there. And so on and so forth all the way up and get to the top. I'll show you what that is. Alright, we're at the top. Just enough epoxy. Now there's our top washer. Get them gloves off. There's our cap. Now this is a 1-inch socket. Goes there. Clamp goes here. Spacer bar to go across the bottom of the vise. Tighten it down. Compress it. This is where 2 hands come in. Well, another hand would come in handy. But now the point of the knife is wrapped, plus it's going down on some wood. This wood thing here. It won't hurt it. Now we're compressing that. See a little bit of the epoxy squeezing out, which that's what we want. Just like that. Now, next step, this has got to sit at least overnight. I probably won't get back on this till, excuse me, probably Tuesday. Because they changed my appointment tomorrow from 5:45 in the afternoon, which was a ridiculous appointment, to 12:45. So, middle of the day, but that's all right. I don't want to be over in the big city after dark anyway. Not safe over there. Don't care what nobody says. Anyway, That'll sit right here until we get back to it. Then we'll take it off, look at it again, peen that end over real good, and start shaping the handle. Alright y'all, it's been a few days and our leather has sat here and dried. I had to reconfigure my little clamp up there to start with. Alright, we got a good amount to peen off, straighten up there. Good and solid. Now, next step is to get this peened off at the top here. Now, for the rest of the build, just about, it's going to stay in here for the final shaping of the handle. And I'll show you all that when we get there in a couple days. As I have mentioned, in case you missed it, I'm on my everyday treatment plan now. First week and a half is at 4 o'clock, and after 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I've got to be in the hospital, or at the hospital. And it's a really pain in the butt to drive over there that time of day. But anyway, we'll work on that just a little bit. I got something else that has came up right now that I've got to do. So we'll be back. Good morning, everybody. It is the morning after the big storms. Got a little rough around here last night. Mama told me, because I couldn't stay awake. I fell asleep. But nothing damaged. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, like a great big thunderstorm for us. Thoughts and prayers for everybody. Hundreds of thousands of people all across Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, parts of Florida, Georgia. I heard Atlanta was getting really hit hard during the night. I can't see, I don't have any internet. The only thing that happened, our internet's gone, it's down. My daughter has the same service, hooked to the same box. They've got theirs, Ricky's got his, but ours is not working for some reason. My IT son, Joey, is in there working on that right now. So, that's a little update after the storm. I hope everybody's well. If y'all was in the middle of that mess and you're okay, let me know. This video may take a day or two to get out. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, for today, we got nice weather. I did a little bit of work outside the shop, cleaning up a little bit. So now let's get back on this. I'm going to grind off this handle, and won't take near as long as it looks. So we'll see that again in the knife making video, or maybe I'll put it all in this one. So far, now I'm taking down a little bit at a time, and I'm comparing it to mine. We're good this way. Just getting the rough dimensions, and then we'll do the rounding, and we'll go to the next step. Alright y'all, I got it down really close to this one. Now, this is something new I'm going to try. I won't think I'm crazy, but I'm going to show you the setup right quick, then I'll get it all set up. I think it'll be safe. I don't think it'll hurt a thing. To continue this by hand, I'm never going to get it just like I want it, and I won't be able to cut the grooves like I want. So, this is 1 inch. We have a 1 inch socket. 1 inch socket goes there. This goes here with that screw. This goes into the lathe. Now, I've got it slowed down, slow as it'll go, 500 RPM. It should not come out of there. It should be fine. We'll get over and get it set up and test it and we'll see. First, I've got to go get my safety gear. I got this. Let's give it a try. Alright, y'all, there's my setup. Now, it's in there secure. 500 RPM. I've already let it run for a while, so it should be okay. Not going to take that long, and I'm not going to put a whole lot of pressure on it. I don't know how I'm going to get the camera's going to catch it or not. But I got to stand right here. I don't want to be creative and try to put it there because it'll fall. But anyway, we'll get what we can get. How about that? I'll try to stand off to the side. Now, safety gear. Hang on. AT&T guys here. Our internet's trying to fix it. This is my son's. I had to borrow it. I can't find my hard hat, so we're gonna use his. Let me get all set up here again. Alright, might be a long clip, but oh well. We're just gonna do what we can do with it. Piece of belt paper, sandpaper. Take a look. Make sure we're still tight. If it was to come out, it's not going fast enough to hurt anything. Not looking at the phone guy. Try it again. Pretty good, need a little bit more. Alright, I want to get this smooth like I want it, then we'll turn the camera back on. And we'll cut our grooves. Or attempt to. Alright, everything's holding steady. I had to take that hard hat off. It ain't adjusted in my head and it kept falling off. And I don't want to change his adjustment. So I need to find my hard hat. I don't know what happened to it. I had one for years, or several of them. Now, also something I need for you tool guys out there, if you know where I can get one, they make chucks for these 3-jaw and 4-jaw chucks, small aluminum, just for wood lathes to hold small stock. Something like this would have been perfect. I wouldn't have to do all this. Man knows where I can get one reasonable, very reasonable. This is a Delta. I forget what model it is. Anyway, before the video ends, at the end I'll figure out which model it is. It's on there somewhere. So now, take mine. Groove there, one there, there. We just get marking them, getting them close to what the original was, and then up here, like that. All right, let's see. This made my marks a little bigger, I guess. I can see them. Well, I can see them good enough. Now, let's take our V-cutter, try the first one. We're not going deep, just a little bit. That was my fault. Okay, it's sort of oblong the way the handle is, so it's going to take a few minutes. And let me get all this stuff out of my way. I got to move the camera, so we'll see it when it gets done. That's the idea, though. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take it out of the lathe and finish it up by hand. Pretty cool. Not the ideal setup, and if I ever get a 3 or 4 jaw chuck, 4 jaw preferably, will really make a job like this much easier. But we can handle it by hand now. Compare. Pretty close. Now that feels very good. A lot of grip there. Okay, let's go ahead and get the gun blue here, and on the blade. I'll get all the gun blue and done. And when that's done, then we'll put some oil on the handle, oil it real good, and then we'll go to the buffer with it, buff it in, and that will smooth out all those little burrs you see in there. So, see if we can get it out of here like that. I gotta make me a new little jig. That was just an impromptu, but looking good. I like it. Okay, y'all, we got the gun blue and done. Soaked in oil really well. Now I'm going to put it on the buffer, buff out this leather a little bit, and then we're going to dip it in oil again and let that sit overnight, and we'll give it a final look over tomorrow. And the sheath on this one I found, I'm going to call the owner and tell him what I found, and we may use that or we may do something different. We'll see. But I found a really good deal on something, and we'll see. But I just got my little grinder buffer here. Use this for leather. That's where I buffed that whatever color that last sheath was, that red tint to it. It'll be just fine. Show you a little bit of that, and then I'll dip it again and hang it for overnight. And these tools work really well as soon as you plug them in. Y'all see what I'm doing here? Now that's going to be it for today because I'm wore out. It is transferring over there a little bit. Let's go to the other wheel over here. Like that one either. Anyway, that's the way it's going to be done. I got another down there, and the 3 buffers down there. I got a good wheel on one of those. So I'll take care of this, and we're going to end this. We're going to have to go ahead and run a part 3 with it, but that'll be okay. Oh, and the blade, it gets another coat of gun blue tomorrow also, and a polish. Feels right nice. So that'll do it for this one. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. That means a lot to me. And I'll see y'all in a couple days.